Coach, playing shorthanded didn't help matters, but was there a little something missing from your team's game tonight?
And that's a good team. Them scoring on the first power play clearly put us on our heels. And then the injury to Ridley and Casti back to back. We had some short lines and we had some tired guys. I think, that power play, we had a couple guys go, some long shifts and then had to go back on the power play. But we stayed with it enough to have a chance at the end. But give them credit. They played a really good game.
Talk about update on the injuries at all?
Ridley and Casti will be both evaluated. It was clear that they couldn't return. So we'll see more tomorrow, but looks like very doubtful for these next few games for both of them.
Coach, you talk about maybe being shorthanded and being a little tired. It looked like the last 21 minutes were a lot better than the first 39. It just looked like a different team almost.
Well, we scored, and then all of a sudden you get some energy, and when they get on their toes, it would have been nice to get, if we could have had a power play maybe. In the last 10 minutes, we were hoping that, we could come up with one there. But they're a veteran team. I mean, Kopitar stays above you the entire night, and he doesn't give you anything. Dubois, they're real players over there.
When you look at your team and their team, just where do you see the discrepancy right now?
Well, I mean, I guess if you had to be honest with it, if you took three of their top D out, I think you'd see probably a little different team. But in saying that, the mistakes we made that went in the night are just mistakes. That isn't talent based. That's bad reads or not enough poise or what have you. We made a mistake on the penalty kill goal. It's in the net. We made a mistake on the rush goal, and we made a mistake on the goal in the second period. We ran out of the slot. So, for us to win games, you can use shorthanded as an excuse, but that ain't going to fix anything. We're going to have to be, airtight defensively.
Is that a little frustrating after having had the 3 days of practice to see that kind of those mistakes?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm gonna give them credit and say that Dubois, Kopitar, and Deneau are as good a three centers as there are in the league, and sometimes the way they play makes you make mistakes too. I mean, the game is a game of mistakes. They made mistakes on our goals. We had an odd man rush hit the bar with whatever time left there. Norris, they make a mistake. So if that goes in, we're not talking about it. So I know it's certainly not from a lack of effort for our guys. That's no excuse. But for us to win right now, we're going to have to really dig in defensively.
The nightmares of the last couple seasons come back, just seeing they get two guys down the middle dropping the same.
Well, it's just, I mean, what are you going to do? You got 3D out, and then you lose two more guys tonight. So it is what it is, and no one feels sorry for us. It's the National Hockey League. They want the 2 points as bad as we do. We have a day to regroup, and we got to be ready to play.
Like quite heavily on Chychrun and Sanderson on the defense. I guess out of necessity, is this what we should expect in the next couple?
Yeah, I would say so. And unless we get someone back, those kids are playing hard. I mean, JBD and Clev and Montepello. I mean, that's a lot. For them to be out there that against this team. They're giving us good hard minutes, but both those guys are offensive guys.
3-0, just that stoppage. You have a chance to kind of chat with your team. What's your message to them at that point at 3-0?
Well, structure protects the individual, and if you just do what we do, we're going to limit the chances, and then we got to be opportunistic. On a night like tonight, where the lines are different every shift. We got to rely maybe on our power play, which we got a goal. You know what I mean? But if we would have stayed with a little earlier, maybe it's only 2-1, and then 2-2, and we're playing on.
You've talked about looking for consistency. Where do you stand right now with that team-wise? How are you still a ways away from getting there?
There's spurts of our game where we play the way we want to play. We want to play fast and we want to skate. They give them credit again. They slowed us down. They stood in the neutral zone in a 1-3-1, and that's what that does. And they stand above you and they force you to play a different game. And then when they get it, they pounce. So, we'll look at it. But clearly, these next couple games, regardless of guys being out, we got to be ready to go.
What's the at 3-2? You score that goal. Feels like you got some momentum. What's the feeling like amongst the group at that point? That juncture.
Yeah, it was good at that point. I think we clawed ourselves back into a game, and it was a 1-goal game, and just needed to find a way to pot one there, and didn't. So yeah.
How would you describe maybe the first, I guess I'll call it 39 minutes before you scored that goal late in the second? How would you describe the first 38, whatever, 39 minutes from your perspective?
I thought we played a good first period. I think they get one on the power play, and I think we would have liked to have been a little bit sharper in the second period and just be a little bit more mature. But had a couple guys go down, and guys had to step up and play some bigger minutes, and we held ourselves in the game there at the end, and it would have been nice to get one. But we held ourselves out.
What's the biggest challenge? Like, obviously there's the extra ice time, but when you do lose those 2 players to try to maintain the focus and everything.
It's tough. Obviously, Gregor's been playing really good for us and has played a lot of minutes, and Cassie as well too. They're 2 centermen. I know he's on the wing right now, but still takes trials and stuff like that. So it's hard when that stuff happens. But it is what it is. It's the NHL. You got to try to step up and support each other, and guys are supportive of each other on the bench, and it's definitely a tough situation, and hope the best for those guys.
What was the message just of the timeout there at 3-0?
Just stick with it. The game wasn't that far to reach. I think it kind of just bang bang, all of a sudden it was 3-0, and just hold your composure and keep yourself in the game.
Just wondering if you could maybe take us into the headspace of the group after a 3-2 loss.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird game. We knew that they're a good, strong, big team. Obviously, really good down the middle. Their system, historically, everyone thinks of the LA Kings, and they don't give you much, and they definitely play to that. But we knew that going in. They got the early one on the kill, and then I thought we had a pretty good game. We go down a couple guys, and they have a push in the second, and we answered back and felt like the third could have kind of went either way. So, I don't think the game was a bad game by any means, but those are the close ones that you do need, especially at this time of year, because they all matter, and it matters at the end.
For yourself personally, just you took that, you went down, second goal, and then just like you're wincing a bit now.
I'll be fine. It's everyone kind of has to play through some bumps and bruises here or there. It's just unfortunate that slap shot hits me right on the inside of the foot, and then it goes in. But whatever. That's part of the game. Everyone else goes through it. We're obviously missing some guys, but that's not an excuse for our group whatsoever. We got a lot of faith in whoever's in the lineup. It's just when you lose 2 guys in the middle of a game, when you can't replace them, that the minutes get high for players all throughout the lineup. So you just got to kind of push through that.
Maybe not about just helping things on the back end. You say some guys that are missing and trying to just be whatever, a sounding board or.
Yeah, we definitely can't say that you're not missing those guys. We obviously are. But I think all the young players have come in and played extremely well. It speaks to the depth that we feel like we have in our organization. But, you're not really expecting to be down 3 of your 60 that started the season this early on. Usually 1 or whatever, and someone else comes in and plug holes. But to be down 3 and have 3 guys come up, I thought they've all played really well. And then, obviously, we had some guys back there playing big minutes, important minutes for our group. But when things kind of go this way, you gotta pull together. You gotta pull on the rope all in the same direction, and no one's gonna feel sorry for us. So we'll buckle in and get going here.
What's the biggest challenge or obstacle, maybe to trying to play a complete 60-minute effort for this group?
That's a great question. I'm sure every coach in the history of coaching and all the players are looking for that full 60 game. But, I think for us, when we're at our best is when we're playing quick, we're playing decisive. Our reads are quick, and it's allowing our line mates or our partners to be able to make the secondary read immediately for us as a group. So we know that we're skilled. We know that we can score. We know that we can defend. I guess you're looking to do it for the entire 60 minutes. But, we've been prepared to start games. We feel like we've been starting games really well. And then, you just got to put the pedal to the metal. And, everyone's looking for that full 60. But if you can play as close to it as possible, I think that's important for our group because we feel when we're playing and when we're going, we can go with anyone.
Do you feel like maybe the first 35, 40 minutes of this game not exactly what you guys wanted?
Yeah, whenever you're down 3, you find yourself in a hole. So, it's tough to come back from, those deficits. But, we just got to find ways to not put ourselves in that situation as often as we have been.
You've seen that team for a long time in the Western Conference. What makes them so good?
Yeah, they've kind of gotten better each year. They got a good team over there, and they just play so structured. They don't get away from their structure at all, and it's almost like they just don't give you much. They just clog it up, and they really don't give much of anything. No odd man rushes. No, you just got to play a disciplined, patient game and wait for your opportunities, and they do a good job over there. So
This is like some key guys in the back end going in, and then 2 guys down the middle leave the game. I just wonder what the mental strength is required as a group to try to find answers, even though you're kind of short-handed.
yeah, it's tough. You just losing guys. It's tough. Those are 2. You just when you're down 2 forwards early in a game, it's everybody's going with different line combinations, and it's tough. It's hard on guys. Guys got to play big minutes, and you got to fill those shoes. So it's never easy, and it just feels like luck's not on our side right now with these injuries and whatnot. So we just got to stick with it and keep grinding.
What allowed you to come back and to fight until the end of this game?
Just the belief in the room. It's just tough falling short. We never feel out of it, but like I said, you can't put yourself in a hole. It's tough to climb out of, and as much belief as we have in here, it's tough to do that on a nightly basis. So, especially against a team that doesn't give you much and plays within their structure. So, it was.
How difficult is it when it seems like you take a step ahead and then maybe a step back, and you just want to take steps ahead and continue that?
Yeah, that's hockey. It's not going to be perfect every night. But it's just the way it goes sometimes. So we got to string a few together here and keep grinding, keep going. I think, injury bug's tough right now too, but we got to find a way to string some wins together.
You talk about forwards getting to play a lot because of injuries. Same thing could be said about you and Jake Sanderson on the defense. No issues with you there? You're happy to play more minutes?
Of course. Love it.